Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Motivational Rant. I am your host, Dino the Genetic Marvel, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Crystal Morency. Hi, Crystal. How are you today?
Hi, Dino. I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
And how did your night go?
It went very well.
I want to know how your night goes. I know I jumped into that, but I'm like, I want to know.
It went so from what we talked about yesterday. Was that the night before I had that one filming, which I'm really looking forward to, and they said that they would send me a copy and everything. It's very exciting. So yesterday night, I was contacted a few days ago. Actually, it was a couple weeks ago. Somebody had posted something in regards to needing people that look menacing and have suits. Interestingly enough, I do have suits and ta-da, menacing. So,
That's so cute.
they responded just this week and said, "Hey, can you come out?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, absolutely." So it was actually, you know what, they really did a great job in the fact that everyone was social distancing, people had masks, they provided food. It was a little bit long, like we had to wait for nighttime, but it was good, and I learned what the commercial was for, so I'm looking forward for it to come out so I can share it with everybody, because it was pretty cool. And the funny part was that they were kind of debating, like, even at one point it was like, "Okay, we want you to get out of this car," and I'm like, "Yeah, listen," because they wanted me in the backseat of the car. I'm like, "Listen, you know how long it takes me to get out of the backseat of a car?"
How sweaty were your balls?
So
that's what I want to know.
The funny thing was, I got home, I changed, so it's a 3-piece suit that Victoria had made for me. Now, this is the problem is, so it's a 3-piece suit. It's very nice. It's tailor made. It came from overseas. It's a beautiful suit, and then I proceeded to lose 50 pounds. So it doesn't really fit.
Yeah.
So the pants keep on falling. So I keep on having to pull them up and stuff. But it's a beautiful suit, and I have it paired. So it's a light beige suit, or like a dark beige, light brownie, kind of like a taupey. I don't know, something like that. But it's I matched it with a purple shirt, pocket square, and tie. It looks quite good. So
I can't wait. And purple's royal.
Oh, hey, look at me. I'm a fancy guy. So the funny part was, for a lot of it, I was actually standing there and just like, they were like, "Can you look menacing?" And I'm like, "Hmm." And they're like, "Perfect." And so that kept on happening. And then they were like, and then I was like, "Well, what if we do this?" And they were like, "Oh, that's a lot better." And it's like, so there was another guy who he was,
So what was this?
what was it?
What was your, why don't we do this?
Oh, well,
What was
I
it?
was like, why don't I stand outside the car? Because I look like muscle, right? Like I'm the muscle. I don't do things. I don't talk. I don't, which is funny because I am quite eloquent. I'd like to think so, at least. So
You are.
So it was, I'm like, listen, instead of me getting out of the back of the seat, I'm like, he's the boss. He doesn't open his own door. Why don't I stand here and I'll open the door for him? He gets out. I close the door for him. That's what a boss gets, right? And even I told him,
Yeah.
I go, "Don't close your own door." He goes, "Why?" I go, "Boss doesn't close. The boss doesn't worry about doors. The boss
No.
lets you know,
No.
open it up." And that's
Yep, he just gets in and out.
exactly.
And that's it.
It's
Oh, I'm so proud
yeah.
of
So
you.
I was really happy with what I went. And even at one point, so I had to jam food into somebody's mouth, and I was like, so this is the funny thing is, afterward, the guy who was directing everything and in charge, he was actually very, very open to any ideas that people had and in doing things. Not many people spoke up, so I hope I wasn't being
that's
I hope I
awesome.
wasn't being an asshole by speaking it up, right? But in turn, the funny thing was, so the guy that was playing his role, he was kind of giving off a lot of fear. That was his role. And I'm like, the problem is
Yeah.
that I feed on that, right? Like I'm I'm a succubus
Yeah.
in that kind of, like, I'm a siphon for those kind of emotions.
You're like, you
So
like
the
it. You're like a shark.
Well, the more fear he shows, the more anger and disdain that I would show for him. And the guy who was...
So you're a shark.
Kind of, yeah. It's like, I smell blood. It's like,
Or a
fish
bear.
are no longer friends. They are now food, you know?
You're like a bear or somebody that senses fear and they attack.
Yeah, so he was giving off a lot of it, and he was doing an incredible job. And the thing is, because of that, then I was like, instead of just jamming a fork in his mouth, do you want me to grab him by the hair and kind of wrench him back? And everyone was like, oh. And then he's like, no, it's too aggressive. I was like, oh, okay. And then I kind of felt bad because I was like, oh, maybe I fed off too much, you know? And then the guy who's drinking goes, you know what? That guy commented how you and him were really in the moment. I'm like, no, it's thanks to him. Like, that guy did a great job. I'm new to this whole thing, so I don't know. That's why it's like the whole idea of acting.
No, but you're great. Because you would know, you can put yourself into that. You watch TV and movies, that's what you do. But you have that persona where you can put yourself into, you are a natural actor. Just because you haven't done it. But I said right away that you could be like a royal king or a boss. Ooh, maybe they'll keep you on as a character and you guys will end up having like this crazy, cool relationship.
Are you kidding? See,
that would be awesome. That's what's going to happen.
That's the fun part about it is that I really enjoy that kind of stuff. Like, it's like we had talked about on previous stuff is where I'm like, I'm not some magical person. I'm like, no, I know how to convey certain emotions because I convey those emotions, right? I can't pretend to be somebody else, but I know how to manipulate what I do, right? So I don't know, it kind of goes both ways, but what are you going to do, right? It's a little bit tricky, but I don't know.
I'm loving this. I'm listening to you, but I'm like, okay.
Victoria left early. Victoria left early this morning, so she's hopefully bringing back food. So I'm like, okay, I'm very excited for that. But
oh, you haven't eaten yet?
No, well, I'm bad in that I usually I'll usually wake up with Victoria, but if she's like just working or whatever, then I'll just go back to sleep after she wakes up. She may make breakfast and leave it out for me, but then I'm not going to wake up until much later. So in this scenario where we started recording, I'm up early, so a lot of times it just doesn't. She's like, oh, she's going out, she's going to bring back some food and some coffee and everything, so I'm like, oh, whatever. Realistically, I got a smorgasbord.
You feel bad.
Nah, I can stand to miss a couple meals here and there.
You have to eat as soon as you wake up in the morning really early so that way it starts your metabolism.
Bullshit!
What does this say?
Bullshit!
It's not bullshit.
Actually,
I eat right away. Look at me.
Actually, so the funny thing is...
Let me see your shirt. Sorry.
It says...
Can I see your shirt quickly? I'm like, I always do this when I want to see it. I demand trial by... What? Trial by combat.
Yeah. The funny thing was, somebody had referred me to a place. There was like a games cafe, so they would play like board games and stuff. And I was going to run a trivia night for them. So I did that once. It was actually really fun. Then I was like, okay, so like when I talked with them, they were like, okay, we're going to do, I said, so I'm going to do the next 3. And then at that point, we'll break it down and see what's what. And so when they were supposed to have the second one, I was like, because I asked them, like, how was that? What pointers you have? And they were like, no, you were incredible. And I was like, okay. And things got a little delayed and stuff. But then they were like, oh, well, the woman who was organizing everything, she's like, oh, well, I promised a friend that he could do it. And I'm like, but we already agreed that I was going to do 3 of these. So... yeah. And she's like, oh, well, we'll talk after that. And then quarantine happened, and I'm like, you know what? Don't contact me again. I don't. I am a firm believer that, yes, you need to have a contract. You need to have something written in paper. But if I can't trust your handshake to an agreement, I can't trust what's on the contract. You'll find a way out of it. I'm not. It's just how it is. I don't try and pretend that... No, if you're either trustworthy or you're not. So it doesn't really matter. Like, obviously, you have to have contingencies and contracts and things because that's what protects both parties. But if you're not going to agree to something, if I can't trust you, I can't trust you, right? So I was like, okay. And they're like, oh, but we'll contact you. I'm like, yeah, don't bother. I was like, no, that's fine. But the funny thing was, when we were interviewing, she was like, well, the first one we did was Friends. It was a Friends, was it Friends? Yeah, it was Friends. And they were like, oh, yeah. Ta-da. So they asked, they were like, oh, would you be okay with doing like a Game of Thrones? And I was wearing this shirt, and I just looked down, I'm like, yeah, I think I could do that. And she was like, and then she looked down and she was like, oh, okay, all right, we're good. So I don't even know what happened, because I asked, like, this is the thing, I'm like, listen, like, I preempt everything. I'm like, I can't read your mind. If you look at me and go, I don't know what that means. We're not married. I have no experience with you. I go, if there's an issue, come talk to me. I'll happily discuss. But if you're just going, well, I didn't really like that, and I think you should, dance like a monkey. Well, you can go fuck yourself, right? That's not right. If you're just being petty, I'm not going to have that conversation. But if you want something a little different, you're paying for my services. I'll just do it different. I don't care. But don't turn around and go, well, I don't know what that means. I don't know what like. No, don't stop making a face. Just fucking get fucked. It's, I don't know. I get really perturbed with people who.
Are you having a date, Dino?
No, I'm not. It was more so like those kind of, when I talk about those kind of things, they really get to me, because I'm like, I don't understand why people would act like that. If I said that was one of the things that was ingrained to me from when I was young, was make your yes yes and your no no. It's in the Bible, and there are times when people will convince you to say yes to something without giving you all the information. That's not what I'm talking about, because that's somebody trying to manipulate you, somebody trying to take advantage, right? That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is somebody saying, such as, hey, are you coming over? Yes, I'll be there at 6. Being on time is an agreement, right? That's a nice thing to do. So you can't, if you in turn stand there and say, like, look, this morning, you were like, hey, I need an extra half hour. Okay, great. But if I went at 9 and signed on, and you just didn't show up for half an hour, well, now you're an asshole, right?
Or,
that's different. If you said you were going to be back on Sunday from camping, but then suddenly came back on Monday, well, sometimes people will just assume that something has happened. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
God.
I'm sorry.
Just dig me a little bit deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm like,
you know what?
Dino, I'm looking for a cabin deep in the woods, so that way I could just
you know what? So, this is the funny thing is, so somebody messaged me yesterday after watching the episode, and they're like, what? Is she crazy? I'm like, she's like,
for what?
just for going at all into and then they were like, and you were like, yeah, I went in by myself, and they're like, whoa, listen, maybe you don't realize what happens in forests. And especially since we had already talked multiple times about people disappearing and things, and you're like, no.
I know, the 411 just before that.
And that's why it's like, this has nothing to do with the guy you were with. This just in general, I was worried about both of you. I'll be honest with you. Like, look, I don't
I love going by myself.
I do too.
I like going by myself.
Listen.
But I just...
No, go ahead, yeah.
No, I was just saying I really wanted to go, because I haven't been anywhere in 6 years. So for me, I really wanted to go somewhere, and then I hadn't been on a date in a really long time. So why not kill two birds with one stone?
And you know what? And that's totally fun. It's more so this is my thing, is that especially after reading up about it, one of the things, I have a few friends that we've gone out to cabins and stuff, and my big thing is this, I like the solitude of going up into the country and everything. I love it, don't get me wrong, okay? We went, where did we go? Last year was Big Hawk Lake, not Big Cock Lake, Big Hawk Lake. Or
Big Cock.
Yeah. Big Cock Lake. No, it was but it was a beautiful place. Now the thing is, so every cottage.
Turkey vagina.
What the hell? Why would you bring that up? I'm talking about.
No.
Turkey vagina.
Because that's what causes the turkey vaginas, the big cock lake. That's why I'm like, it's okay. You rock, you little fellas. You don't fuck up our shit.
Apparently someone else is having a day. Someone else is having a day. It's not me. I'm not having a day. I'm having a great time here. But someone else is thinking about turkey vagina.
It grosses me out so bad. I saw it again. I was like,
grosses everyone out. Listen, this is, you know what the funny thing is? Like, there's, and it's funny thing you bring that up. It's like you hear that kind of stuff.
You wait for when I post my vagina online.
No,
Just to prove it.
Do not post your vagina online, okay?
I'm joking.
Keep the secrecy alive.
I'm joking. I don't want them to think it looks like dye, like because it says she's now ready to settle down. I'm like, motherfucker, you're gonna ruin it for me, like.
Okay, that's not how this works. Listen, okay.
I know you explained it, guys. Don't think of it like that and blah blah blah. But we've all been there. They say.
No, I've never been there. I've never been there. Never been.
That's good. That's good.
I love my wife. I love my wife. I'm good. I love my wife. This is the crazy part is that you hear and see so much, and especially like the idea of investigating certain things, right, is always tricky because it's a two-edged sword. The more you know is the more you know. And apparently turkey vaginas are what we know about. Don't know why. I've never seen a turkey vagina. I don't think Crystal's seen a turkey vagina. Maybe, I don't know. What I do know is, oh my God.
On Facebook the other day, it was disgusting.
It was quite a show. Quite a show. Definitely quite a show. This is...
How do you let it get like that?
I don't...
Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, how do you allow that to happen?
I'm not of the understanding that people just let things happen like that. They're kind of... Just, it results.
Well, clearly, like, it doesn't just happen. You think that shit doesn't, you're not born with that. Like,
hey, maybe they are. Listen, some people like an open-faced Arby's sandwich. It's not my fault, okay?
Are they born like that, though? Or isn't it from being, like, a little bit too rough around the edges?
How the fuck would I know? How the fuck would I know? Are you kidding me? This is, sorry guys, I'm trying to do a couple things at once, and I'm being bad at it, but it's,
Yeah, you are, because what are you trying to do? What are you looking up? He's looking up turkey vaginas.
No, your download is what I'm downloading, so yeah, dick. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Then it's okay.
Ew! Oh!
No, I meant your video, not your... What did you think? I was downloading your...
Because when I said you're downloading turkey vaginas, like, you're like, yeah, yours.
No. I was downloading your video that you had sent me because I was trying to kill two
I'm so self-conscious about it now that I'm like, oh my God.
That's the worst thing to be self-conscious about, okay? Listen,
I've always been self-conscious about my cupcake. Like, I wanted to be, because I grew up with boys. I was around men all the time, and you hear the horror stories, and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to be one of those horror stories.
You know what? I'm telling you right now that the men you grew up with have no fucking idea. They were talking about pussy and had never seen one. They're like, oh yeah, like, I fucked her so hard. They're like, you held her hand, you liar. This is the problem, is you have people who are bragging about, yeah, I lost my virginity at 12. You fucking didn't. You lie. You are full of shit. Okay? And I'll be honest with you, listen, because people just assume, oh, everybody's fucking. No, they're not. No, they're not. And this, like, and I'll tell you right now, if you're 12 and you had sex, I feel sorry for you. Because number one, a lot of people won't tell you this. First time, it's not that easy to figure out. It's a little bit tricky. You gotta just, okay, let's work with everything. And you know what? And once you've kind of, okay, now we understand how things work, and you know what, then you can have some fun. But somebody say, oh yeah, I was 12 and I was banging chicks. You fucking liar. You couldn't even get it up, you pussy. You can't get it up now either, you fucking limp dick piece of shit. I can't handle it.
I think that's what keeps me stable, is that my first time was actually the most, like, truly beautiful
Well, thanks. Just rub it in. Why don't
and
you?
it was awesome. Like, it was very romantic. Like, I was probably, but the rest of after that, like,
it just went downhill from there.
My first time was the most beautiful and romantic. It was with my high school sweetheart, and we waited a long time, and it was just very romantic. A week before prom, and because everybody thought we were gonna do it on prom, so we did the week before. We listened to Boys to Men. I'll make love to you.
Oh, gross. That's the worst. You know what the funny thing is? That I'm a
like you want me to.
God. I'm sure like it's funny when you look back and try and like how you tried to be romantic with somebody and you're like, wow, that was just horrible. It's like, yeah, Boys to Men, you're like, yeah, okay. Throw on to
It was in the back seat of a car, but we had tea lights on the. Well, we lived with his parents, so we had tea lights up on the dashboard, and we listened to Boys to Men in the back seat. And I'm not gonna say his name.
No, don't. Thank fucking Christ! Please stop saying people's names. Holy crap!
I actually respect and love that man, so I will never say his name on that.
No, because that.
Oh, not that I don't respect anybody else. Whoa.
See, that implies that you don't respect people whose name you said. So no, we respect everyone, and we are learning to be private.
Love him forever. Yeah, and I love him forever.
Well, hey.
So. No, only because that was the special. Right?
Yeah, listen, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people forget that there's so much more to what we do that you don't realize, right? I remember, I think I talked about it before, was like I saved myself for marriage. So I was 21, and you know what? There's a lot of pressure, and especially when you're in a committed relationship with someone looking towards marriage, there's a lot of, there's a lot of high pressure, planning a wedding and stuff like that, and you know, it's tough. It's tough to hold back. And the advice I gave a friend's daughter was, I told her, I'm like, listen, no one can stop you from having sex, and that's true. And I hope I can talk as level-headed when I have children to them. I'm not sure I will, but you know, I just told her, I said, listen, it's just one of those things where it's one of those doors you can't close again, and once it's open, it's open. Yeah. And the problem with that is that it will change how you perceive things, how you deal with things, how you interact with things, and that it's you're burdening yourself possibly before you need to, and maybe moving your focus in a different direction, and that's frustrating, because a lot of, especially right now, you see a lot of young people are burdened with so much knowledge or awareness of what's happening in the world, like political parties and stuff. You're like, listen, why does an 8-year-old need to know anything about politics? Anything?
Oh, I hate this. I hate how they're saying, oh, they have to know this, they have to. What? Let them be children.
Well, and that's why see, I always think about it this way: is there are ways the benefits of certain childhood stories, or even biblical stories, you might say, or fairy tales. They all. What the fuck are you trying to do over there? So,
I was trying to open my nail polish so that way I could paint my nails while
because I'm not talking about anything important. We're just gonna, just gonna paint our nails.
You are. I can listen and do this, though.
That's a lie. That's called giving people the right attention. Be like, I'm listening.
Oh my goodness.
And she'll do her face. Hello. Painting my nails. Anyways.
Okay, I'm not going to, because now you made me feel like an asshole.
Yeah, because you're an asshole for doing it, you dickhole. So, no, what I was saying is this. They allude to the principles and ideas of things like abuse, or people taking advantage, or politics, societal responsibilities, all those things. They are all alluded to in those stories, but they're broken down in a sense that you can give a child something to ponder for them to grow their knowledge base and to inspire them to do certain things without burdening them with this candidate and this candidate and this person. It's that they're so fragile. Like, my biggest concern is breaking a child's brain. because mine's broken. Okay, mine's out there, right? But I've done that by choice. I have overloaded it with so much random shit that now I'm piecing it all together to make it sound like I'm a knowledgeable person providing a service to everyone so that they may become the butterfly that they aspire to be. It's not like that, right? A child...
He has a new word every day of the week, and he just tries out his new word of the week.
Twice a day.
And it makes him feel
Twice a
smart.
day. I will figure out a new word and try and incorporate... Listen,
He uses last year's calendar, too. Puts them both together.
Listen, you know what?
5 years, and he's got a full fucking sentence. Big words.
It's true. It's very true. I'll tell you that. And you know what? You're the first person that's called me out on it. I would play things like Words with Friends. I have
I've heard you use big words for a lot of hours now.
I have a dictionary app on my phone that gives me the word of the day and things like that. And the best way to learn a new word is when you learn it, try and incorporate it into a conversation. If you do that, it expands your vocabulary. Because a lot of the time, like the word ultimate, okay? Think about it this way. The word ultimate, people are like, oh, yeah, ultimate. Yeah, not what you think it means. Trust me there, okay? Unless you're actually really smart and then you know what it means and you're going, hey, that guy's stupid. And then that's fine too. But, you know.
Fuck, what does it mean? I'm like, because I was about to make a comment and now I want to take it back because I have to ask that question.
No! Remember, there's the...
I like learning, so... What does it really mean?
Hold on. So, ultimate meaning...
You're looking that fucker up?
Yeah, because I want to make sure I do it. No, because I usually would do it on my phone. That's why. So ultimate is it's being or happening at the end of a process. So it's the finale. It's not the best.
Yeah, the ultimate goal.
Right. Now, but that's the thing is people use it, oh, well, it's the ultimate XYZ. You're like, no, that means it's the final one, which isn't the process, right? It's the what you're looking for is something that it's an achievable mark or close of a situation. And that's why like penultimate is the second to last and stuff like that. But a lot of the times we misuse things.
See, I knew that. See, I didn't really, because I'm like, the ultimate goal. Okay, yeah, like that's exactly.
And that's the problem is, but
the end result is your ultimate, like, what you're
Well, that's the thing is, a lot of the times people will criticize the English language for being crass or underdeveloped. What we don't realize is that it goes so far that there are specific words that mean specific things that you don't even realize. Mm-hmm. And that's why is having something that will bring new words into your vocabulary are fantastic because it helps you expand your way to describe things in a way that you can make them resonate with people for them to go forward. But that's all I'm saying.
I have to do this because I'm like a big bucket of like not knowledge, but weird shit goes on out there. Yeah. I research a lot, and I never can spill it out. Like I always feel like such a retard once I open it because I'm like I know what I'm talking about, and I'll say that by saying key points, but I'll just not know how to put it all together.
Everyone, I'm
like that with my writing too.
Everyone has the same problem. And listen, I'll be honest with you, I hadn't read a book over 1,000 pages that was not in a religious context or a scholastic context for academia until I was probably around 27. And that was the first book that I read that was over 1,000 pages. And I started reading.
I don't think that makes somebody properly speaking, though. Properly, that doesn't make them properly communicating. It doesn't change.
What it does, though, is it gives you kind of an understanding of how people try and communicate things. It's the idea of being able to explain a circumstance, situation, environment in a way that conveys that emotion. I remember, like, when I used to work for the bank, a lot of people would bring their annual reviews to me because you would get to write up a little blurb and they'd be like, can you make this fancy? And they would call me a word wizard, and I would rewrite it in a way that would convey a lot more emotion and a lot of perspective. Like people said, well, I had the best statistics. And you say, instead I would turn that into, Well, my determination and proper goal setting with making sure that there were check marks through every process and a maintained consistent achievement of those goals has resulted in me surpassing my peers, which was resulted in the efficient recognition of that process by other people, and which is complete ridiculousness. But people go, "Oh,
that was a lot of words in order to say,
I'm good.
hey.
I'm good."
No, not even that. It's, hey, we're gonna work together. You basically laying out, okay, this is what the big picture is gonna be. This is how we're gonna get there, and this is what the outcome is gonna be. Bam, bam, bam. In simple terms, though, he's saying that he talks to dummies and has to explain how he's going to work their shit out for them.
That is not what I was insinuating.
Listen, if you want, because I know how to go and get it done, so I'll get this done for you, and I'm just going to use all my big fancy words to tell you that.
You know, when I try to get her done, there are certain things you must do, and when you're doing those things, it's important that you take care of your resources.
Everyone makes fun of me because I still use like receipt pads and notebooks and everything.
Listen.
But I am very, very aware of all my shit. Like I'm a money under the mattress kind of girl, and it's like I'm very aware.
No, that's the thing is using receipt pads, using a notepad just to write things out. It's a cognitive thing that helps you understand things better. Typing things out is not as connective for your memory or thought process as writing something out is, because pressing a button and spelling a word are two very different things. I think a lot of people don't realize that kind of stuff.
Very different.
You know?
And the fact that they took calligraphy out of like the education system in the elementary school.
Cursive.
They took like writing.
They took cursive writing.
Cursive, sorry. I know, calligraphy.
Same word.
Cursive writing. See, I always know what I'm talking about.
You
I
do.
just don't.
And that's the other thing. You know what? I pride myself.
That's why I need
but I pride myself on being able to
Communication.
understand when someone's going to a certain place. Like that, you said calligraphy. I know you meant cursive writing. Why? Because I'm an idiot and I had to look it up too. It has nothing to do with that.
Well, hopefully people do.
No, absolutely.
Like, hopefully you do, people, or else maybe you should.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Kind of simple.
To all of your dumb friends. All of your dumb friends will really appreciate this conversation. I'll tell you that right now. Oh my God. How are you? Crystal? You know, because I spent half an hour talking about me. I don't think it's not very polite. I was raised better than that, okay? So how are you? Crystal?
I'm doing really okay. I'm doing really okay. Every day is a new day. Every day is an opportunity, and I'm really excited. I just don't know what I had kind of like a fight with whoever. I'm like, well, what the fuck is the purpose? Just, can you give me something to work with here? Because I feel like I'm like, tugging at a bunch of things, and when you want something real bad, and you feel like you disappoint yourself and everyone around you, but whatever. Anyways.
And you know what?
I work really hard to.
You do.
Yeah, and I just wanted to outcome of something. It will, though. It will. Nothing comes easy.
I'm not sure if you checked, but by the way, we have cracked 700 views on our videos, so thank you everyone for your support.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
Thank you so much. You guys help, and this helps me.
Absolutely.
Like, this makes it.
No, it's fantastic. Listen,
I very appreciate
absolutely.
it. Like, people are awesome. It's just, you really want to, go. I just have big goals, and I know that it's not impossible. Nothing's impossible. And I've proved that to myself, and so I know, and that's what keeps me going. It's like, damn it. Look, you're like, you get tired,
And please don't take this the wrong way. Is that people like me require people of your nature as well. Because while you are working at a mile a minute that your mouth can't catch up to your brain, okay? No, that's but that's a compliment. The problem is that my side is I am let's try and use a nice word. I'm slow when it comes to activity. That's fair, okay? Whereas you're too fast for one person. So between
Well, I have 100 ideas and I want to do them all.
But that's the thing is, like,
you
can't do 100 things at once. You can do one thing at a time and you can achieve them all. And that's where that balance between the two of us can help things grow that way, right? That's why.
Yep, you're my calm. you're my namaste. My namaste.
So when you said that, I heard Kong and not calm. So I was like, yeah, I can be Kong. I can be Kong. I just. I can do that.
Frig! Now I want to do us. Now I want us to do like a.
Oh, do a poster with me as Kong and you the girl. I like it. Right on the fucking Empire State Building.
Is that okay though? Yeah, that's
Fuck,
okay.
I care.
Right?
Why not? Kidding me? All that means is Kong's getting some action. No, it's not. That is not what that means.
No, that's why I asked if that's okay, because I'm like, he kind of rescues her because he wants to date her. So I'm like, or that's what we made. Oh, that's what I wanted to go.
What I mean.
That's where I wanted to go. How you mentioned how I think it's important as your babies, right? So I had this theory anyways, because I don't know how I was going to describe that. But I started thinking recently about when you're a baby, your mind is pure. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be. Because I think we were put here, our mind is complete. We don't see any race. We feel the mothers, and we're so fucking smart. Think about it. We learned that we need to eat. We learned that we need to cry in order to get somebody to pay attention to us. We know that we have to breathe. We are born with the essentials to survive. We are technically born with I think our bodies are our temples. Our minds were meant to grow, but not in the manner that we've done it. Because we have, like I've said before, we haven't changed things since the beginning of time. We just know that we got to go to provide shelter, fire, water, you know what I mean? Love, blah, blah, blah. But we all repeat the same shit over and over and over again, because if it worked for them, it's going to work for us type thing, right? And then we just try to find new ways to develop it, maybe working a little bit better, but yet it's still the same shit. We're just adding a little bit of sprinkles to it.
Yeah.
So, it's just, you know. So I just think it's the minds of a baby. You think how pure that mind is. Because that baby doesn't go into a situation thinking that anything other than this is a new experience. I'm open-minded to. They get taught religion. They get taught this. They get taught that. Like you said, you were taught you were religious, right? So that's what you were taught. That's where your mindset is. So really, you can say that you're open-minded and stuff, and people can say that. And I find this difficult. I find your kind of things difficult to comprehend sometimes. Not difficult, but just different. Right?
She's saying I'm too fat, is what she's saying.
What's it had nothing to do with your fatness. You're gonna make people think that we fat shame.
I fat shame. I fat shame. I fat shame me. I fat shame you.
People need to love themselves.
Listen, okay. There was one joke that I heard that was very funny. Actually, you know what? Oh, fuck that one. The other thing I'm thinking of is everyone has this coming of age thing, and like you said, is our experiences have been significantly different over time, and that's not only because of our upbringing or where we were or how we were raised or our experiences. We could be in the same exact environment, but we both will have different perspectives of what happens. Now,
completely different. So will two identical twins that grew up in the same household with the same parents.
Except for those really weird ones. Those ones, where they're like, we're together all the time. Those kind of freak me out. When they're two alike. I've seen twins that are always together. They always they'll hold hands and stuff. And I'm like, you guys are creepy. It's weird, right? I get it.
That's why I pay attention when dating somebody, just in case they have a twin brother and they try to sneak them in. I'm like, fuck, I better pay attention to what you look like.
This is the way I see it. I think you can gauge how quickly someone's mind has been ruined by at what age they learned what a blumpkin is. That's what I think. That's my, because that's it's not horribly perverse. It's circumstantially perverse. technically...
I'm only laughing because I have no idea what a blumpkin is, and you don't get more perverse in my lifestyle.
I'm going to say Google it. You should Google what a blumpkin is if you don't know, because that is the standard, I think, of how fucked up somebody is. At what age you learned out what a blumpkin is?
Fuck.
Because do it. I think it's funny.
I knew what a quickie was before grade 1 or grade 1. So
that's
like
way too early to know.
They don't have to. They don't have to sign the time card. They just scribble at the bottom.
That's horrible. That is a horrible thought. Oh my god.
Does that count?
Kind of, yeah. Holy shit, Crystal. Fucking hell.
I told you. Like, I'm not just me for no good reason. Okay. So the term blumpkin is when a man is sitting on the toilet taking his shit. Oh, ew. Yeah, see, that even crosses my line. Like, that's just gross. That's just gross. That's not perverted. That's just gross.
He's just taking a shit. He's not shitting on somebody, okay? People take shit. People poop.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with people pooping.
Yeah, but ew, I don't even... yeah, but I don't want you to fart while I'm down there. Why would I want to be down there while you're
I am happy that I'm the bad guy finally. That I can be the one that has perverted your mind. I think this is great. This is a great...
Yes, thank you.
Fantastic thing.
You just grossed me the fuck out.
I have successfully grossed her out, guys.
I do get super grossed out. I do get really grossed out, though, by gross stuff that's like...
See, this is...
Like, it really disturbs me.
This is the problem.
Like, stuff that people put inside of them, and stuff that people, like... I'm just like, but why? Why do you want this? Like, why do you want to ruin it? Like, don't you want it to be awesome? Like...
Oh, I'm so excited about this conversation. I wish we had more time. No, so this is the funny thing is...
We still have like 20 minutes. We're good.
No, it's not enough. I'll tell you that right now.
I know. Fuck. That's why I can't afford a psychiatrist.
Well, you know.
Dude.
This is actually... It was...
I could be Joe Rogan rich and I still wouldn't be able to see a shrink.
You'd have to see like 4. You'd have to see 4. And you know what the problem is? With your luck, one of them would be Hannibal. That's what would happen. One would be Hannibal. And you'd be like, oh, he's going to eat me.
It wouldn't bother.
Like,
he wouldn't eat me. He'd be like, so, do you want to taste?
That is horribly inappropriate. And please don't be offended if you're in the psychology or psychological profession. We know you don't eat people. That was one man. So just in case. No, it's... See, I honestly feel... Oh, wait. I don't want to show the symbol.
His douchebag drink. We all know.
No, this is just water.
Everybody knows.
Victoria's.
As soon as they see a green straw, everybody knows it's the douchebag cup.
And it's fucking delicious. Fucking delicious.
For $4 more.
You know what the problem is? And I've been noticing this more.
What's the problem?
Well, it was brought up. Did you ever watch Super Size Me?
No.
Yeah.
I think the one is a movie,
Thin
right?
people problems. No,
Yeah.
I didn't watch Super Size Me because I'm not fat. Okay. So.
No, well, I am like super. Hey, through high school, I was bulimic. I could have been fat, but I don't know. Like.
Yeah. Don't victimize me, okay? No. So.
Ew, no, don't ever. I'm not ew. I am not that woman.
I honestly, and I really enjoy that about your company is specifically that you don't. I believe that anyone can play the victim role. I don't. Because
that's how you stay there.
Exactly.
That's how you stay in that moment. How are you going to get over it?
Listen, there's so much shit that happens to people. It's like as soon as you start thinking that way, you kind of lock yourself into this. It's kind of like that golden pair of handcuffs. Like you have a good wage.
People, I would be hanging. I would not be able to survive at all if my mind stayed anywhere, and I would never be able to date. I would never be able to leave my house. Fuck that. You have to move on with life, and you know what? How you grow, how you survive that situation is you grow from it, and then you can show whatever that. Hey, that didn't stop me. That didn't hold me down. No matter, so that beats your demons. That beats your like the people or situation that harmed you. And is the fact that you grew from it. So
no, and and look,
keep on.
And
keep
we're
it
not.
on.
We're definitely not saying that it's easy. Please don't think that, because it's
trust
brutal,
me.
and you need help for it. But it is achievable.
Oh, you
It's
definitely.
You know,
it's definitely achievable, but it's definitely not easy. Trust me. I'm a very and I've been told by professionals that I'm a very strong-willed woman, and
not this
I
strong,
have a very
baby.
hard time sometimes too.
No, but that's no. Sure.
I have a hard time too, though. And it's just that hard time, though. I take it, and I'm like, what now? What are you going to do now? Fuck what happened then. What are you going to do now? And you're going to show them that, hey, you couldn't stop me. You couldn't hold me down. No matter what. You tried, but it didn't work. So you don't get to beat me up forever. Or you don't get to hurt me forever. Or somebody doesn't get to do something forever. Because if you don't move on from it, then you're being harassed every day.
Yeah.
No, well, because you're being raped every day or you're being beaten up every day. That if you keep that and you don't grow from it, it never stops.
Okay.
So grow from it and use it as your tool. Use it to make you're awesome. So use it to make you awesome.
I remember, listen,
and show
I'll
that.
be honest with you. I remember the first time I kissed Victoria, and I just went for it. And this was like, we had been on like 5 dates already. I hadn't kissed her. Okay. Oh yeah. I was terrified. So I went for it, and when I pulled away, she kind of had a not a face, but she was kind of just like, oh, and I was like, was that not okay? Which I just about shit my pants at that point, and she's like,
after 5 dates, so that's cool.
I'm not known for my speed, okay, Crystal? I'm not known for my speed.
I've had random strangers pull me up and kiss. That's really okay.
No, it's not. No, it's not for random people to come up and kiss you, okay?
No, 5 dates. No, but I mean 5 dates is really okay. Trust me.
Well, okay, but for myself, right? I'm not a very experienced person and I'm very unaggressive when it comes to romance, because in all honesty it terrifies me, and I always, and this is I make a joke about it, how if I read a signal wrong, I think I've said it on the podcast before, if I read a signal wrong and I approach a woman, I've immediately cut off all exits. That is not a good situation for someone who looks like this to be in. Okay, because ultimately what's happening is I give off a mildly threatening appearance, and because of my height and my stature and my majestic girth
but you don't have that frightening
rapey feel
that frightening no, you don't have that I'm gonna,
and I pride myself on that, okay? Because listen,
but some people have that feel.
A lot of people do, and I never, it's funny. Like we had talked about before, how everyone has that threshold, and for myself, I never thought that I'm like, no, that happens to weird people, and the more and more people that I meet, I'm kind of like, there's a lot of fucking weird people. Did no one tell you that that's not okay? I like you were saying, it's like a child's brain is so innocent.
It's always the nicest,
right?
Yeah.
And that transition into,
it gets distorted.
Absolutely,
over time.
I absolutely agree with it. And look, a child can be taught to hate or to love. It can be taught to be angry or be calm. It can be taught to be sympathetic or be an aggressor. And that's why I'm not saying that somebody who is aggressive is wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there's a time and a place for everything. There are certain aspects, look, if you were in contract negotiations, yes, being the aggressor will help you. Now,
a child should be taught to be his own.
Absolutely. But the idea is you want to equip a child with everything possible so that the decision they make is a sound, reasonable goal.
But in whose eyes?
Their own.
I don't.
What I mean is as a parent or something, it would be your goal to give them all the knowledge possible and an even perspective of things with the right principles, or I guess you could call it morals would be fair. so that when they make the decision, that they can be confident that that was the right decision for themselves.
Yeah.
Because I can't make a decision for you.
That's
You can't make a
exactly-
decision for me. And if you do make a decision for me, there's a very strong likelihood that I will not be happy with it because maybe you haven't considered how I feel. And that's why all those things factor in.
Exactly.
It's very tricky.
That's exactly why I can't settle. I believe in love so much. I really do. And I really, really believe in like the real feeling that people get, you know? And I think that I don't want to just settle for just, you know, and I want somebody to just see me for me and not think, you know, not be like, I don't know, just get it. Because I'm good at getting people. Like, I'm good at, you know, like, I'll get it. Like, if you're upset, and it's cool with me. Like, be you. You know, like, it's okay. I'm me, too. I have my moments. Nobody's perfect.
No.
You know, frig.
No.
Like, you know,
Listen.
so everybody, and we're all so hard on ourselves. So for us to be hard on each other makes it so much worse. And we're also hard on ourselves because of each other. So it's like you
know what? That's the thing is I've seen a growing trend that
that's why I love the bush.
she's talking about nature, just to be very clear.
Yeah, the forest. Oh, they know. You've said it yourself. They know that I'm into the
the Big Cock Lake. That's what she wants. No.
But not the big ew. No, not that one because it ruins you. But like the forest, the Big Cock Lake forest. I fucking don't know where to go from there. So
I got this. Don't worry. Listen,
Okay.
You know what? And you're right. No, you're absolutely right. Is that there are certain times in certain situations where you don't know, right? And this growing trend that I've noticed is alarming to me. It's that I truly believe that I should be my own worst critic. I should be the hardest on myself. It's
you have to live with
it's
yourself.
unreasonable for someone else to be my biggest critic. And the growing trend that I noticed that I find so alarming is people are no longer their own worst critic. They're their biggest fan. And what they're doing is they're internalizing kind of a sycophant type process where I'm the greatest, you know who I am. And I'll tell you this right to your face, whoever you are, if you have to say you know who I am, you're fuck all. Fuck all, you loser. Okay? This is why people, you know who the fuck I am?
I've had that happen.
Nah.
I've had that happen. I was working at a pretty prestigious bar, and
No way.
a gentleman comes up to me, and he's like, "You don't know who I am?" And he was like hitting on me, and I'm like, "Nope, sorry," you know. And I kept doing my job, and then I asked him, "Can I help you? Is there anything I can get for you?" And he's like, "You really don't know
I'm
who
like,
I am."
the biggest
like,
deal.
sorry.
You don't understand.
Like, I don't pay attention. Like, unless I've masturbated to you, chances are I don't know who you are. And I don't believe I've masturbated to you, so I don't know who you are.
That is.
I'm well aware who Brad Pitt is. I'm well aware of who.
I'm just not going to comment on that part. I'm just going to leave it. You know what? Fucking hell. You know what the best part is? That there's, like, look, you say, you're like, well, I didn't know. Even if you did know, you're
I would totally not.
you are smart
I
enough
wouldn't.
that you would have been like, no,
Oh, yeah.
and
No.
it frustrates me to no end because I am incapable of doing this, of playing I don't know. People never assume I don't know. And it's very, very, very frustrating because when I go, I don't know, people assume that, no, it's not that I don't know. I don't care about the subject or I don't care about them. And I'm like, sometimes I just don't know. That's it. Don't mean to be mean. The problem is you bastard, can be like, I don't know. And people are like, she doesn't know. No problem. And she knows.
Oh, people
she fucking
assume I know
knows.
nothing.
Don't trust her. She knows.
I've been told that my whole life, and they're like, I'm sorry, but I thought that you were super ditzy and stuff. And I'm like, I like it that way. Like, I prefer it because then it helps me, you know.
Absolutely.
But it's hard now. At this point, it's been hard though, because people don't give you, like,
respect
the opportunities and stuff. Yeah, respect where exactly. So it does get kind of difficult, but it makes me work harder. It makes me say, okay, fine, I got this. I'll show you.
Well, we are about out of time for today. So let's see. We should do a motivation. What should we do? What should we do? Oh, you think of anything that people need to hear?
Oh, always. No, I just think that people should just please feel comfortable with yourself and with other people. Because you can't be comfortable, like Dino told me, you can't love anybody until you love yourself.
Is true.
So you can't be, and comfort is a huge thing. And I say comfort's a huge thing because it's a big, like, if you just take a deep breath, don't enter a situation angry, enter it, and treat people how you want to be treated, for frick's sakes. Like, do we have to do finger painting after this, folks? Because if that's what needs to happen, and we're going to do the parachute game where everybody has to work together to get up the parachute, whatever it fucking... Oh, and the grouping. The grouping. I have to touch base on this. I wanted to touch base on this because I've been looking for apartments in Toronto, and I've been looking for work and everything else, and it's really hard because every single ad asks for a certain like you have to be of a certain race and
ethnicity.
It's either you have to be East Indian in the city. Every single ad. And you can't get nothing. And every single show that's going on right now, you have to be of either a different sexuality or you have to be of a different... But I just don't understand why we're grouping everybody. Why can't... I thought the goal was to be equal. So please, people, just see everybody as humans. That's all I want to say.
So let's unpack that a little bit.
I respect everybody. So I just want everybody to be respectful, like be respectful to each other, appreciate each other for who you are, no matter what your race, religion, or sexual orientation is. Because we love you, I love you anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. Anyways, just it doesn't. Like, see you different. We're all the same. I thought until everybody keeps pointing it out that we're so different. Like,
may I?
It hurts.
Do you mind
feelings.
if I try and sum things up? If you can't look yourself in a mirror, how do you expect to be able to observe the world around you? We have forgotten what importance there is in understanding our own perspective because we have been spoon-fed what our opinions and feelings should be. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're eating something bad, but it just may not be what the healthiest meal for us is. Right now, with the changes that are happening in the world, we have an increased visual representation of people trying to show their support. And this is a two-edged sword because, as Crystal mentioned, some people are so focused on it that we are at risk of only seeing things like skin color or race.
That's all that's out there. It's
creed.
So hard. Like, and for somebody, I don't fit in anywhere anyways. So it's like now nobody's equal. And that makes it harder. It's because it's like, well, where do you go? And I get what you guys say. I'm just sorry. Now I get upset about it because I just thought we were all equal. Now everybody wants to be separated, and it sucks, you guys.
And that's why.
Why can't we all like just be on the same team? Why does that have to be? This group's over here and that group's over there. Like, we're not in high school. Like, the preppy kids and the jock straps, and I don't get that. Like, I've never understood that.
We're almost out of time. Well, we're almost out of time, so let's
sorry,
that's okay.
But yeah.
Listen, the point is, guys, is take care of yourselves first.
Such a bitch.
No, she's not. Listen, and remember, we're just comedians talking. We don't mean to offend. We want to make sure that we can become more knowledgeable and more helpful to everyone.
Oh, not offensive, obviously.
Shut up!
Yeah.
Shut up!
I hate.
Okay.
Well, I hate the offensive. Okay, I'm shutting up.
I'm fixing it, you dick. This is what happens, people.
I know. I was good. Fixing it. See. But anyways, okay. I'm stopping crying and I'm stopping talking. Go. You're beautiful.
So, That's been fun. Crystal, where can they find you?
They can find me at Morning Motivational Rant for this on YouTube for now, and Simply Me on YouTube. Simply Me on YouTube, and then on Crystal Morency, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and that stuff. And Dino, where can they find
Dino
you?
the Genetic Marvel on YouTube, Instagram. I have Facebook fan page, as well as Twitter, and Morning Motivational Rant on YouTube, on Instagram as well. I am trying to get audio files. Apparently the audio files were a little fat, so we've put them on a diet, and they're in process to be able to be uploaded everywhere. But that is what we are doing, guys. Have a great day, and remember, be true to yourself, okay? Have a good day, guys. See you later.
Bye, guys.